Alright, so if you guys watched the last episode, you saw how well we basically came to an end. So we are going to redo this. We are going to put a pin in the pressure map, and I'm going to revisit this in a minute, but we are going to come to Oasis and see how well I fare at this. And yeah, we're going to do normal mode, and yeah, so see you in a bit. Alright, welcome back. Alright, so Steel Cove 3, I'm not even sure that that's what we call it, but that's what we're going with for now. So we're going to hit this, pause, and then kind of get an idea of everything on this map. Source contains free power that can be harnessed with the right something. Ground must be built on the ground. Underground depth and indefinite. Alright, so we have this little cove here. We have a drill that needs power. So that'll be interesting to get to. What is that? A relic. Grants 200. Alright, so this is a little bit different than the pressure map that we were on. Is there any bad water on this map? There's a source, so that'll flow through here and out that side. If it does indeed flow. There's another one that'll flow most likely this way. And then this way, filling up this. Filling up this. Alright, so we're about to have a whole lot of... And then it'll go out this way. Alright, so we're going to let this map kind of fill up to see what exactly we're dealing with, or what I'm dealing with, because I see a bunch of bad tide sources everywhere. So just to kind of get an idea of what we're going to be dealing with. First things first, let's get water pumps going. And let's switch those directions, get those going at least. Yeah, we're going to need to do something because we're going to get a whole bunch of bad water going there. So let's get food, let's get this set up. Rotate that. We'll put that right there. Let's get a couple of these tree things going. We're probably gonna end up having to build something there. Let's get that going. Let's path all this out. Storage, let's get these going. There we go. This will allow us to build bigger ones eventually. I kind of want to get those set up. Bad water. Actually, we just want all water. Alright, beginning task, getting these set up. Alright, we should have all that going. Alright, so first things first, this is a higher priority. These are also higher priorities, getting those set up. And then probably getting a few of these set up. And let's kick this into 3 times speed so we can actually get something going here. Storage. We'll put that there. Log that out. Alright, how many free beavers we got? We got 2, so let's make sure that we're using those adequately enough to kind of get that going. Let's drop that down. These are always going to be a higher priority. And we're doing a pretty good job over there. Alright, so we have that going. We need, not that, we need science kind of starting to be developed in some aspects. Let's put that at a little bit higher priority, get that going, and we'll build this up just like that. Drop that down to 1. We are going to need birthing pods, and I feel like this little corner is probably going to be in our best interest to kind of get those going. Trying to keep everything out of the way in a sense so that we can do what we need to do. 15 logs. Alright, that'll do just nicely. Oh, we need to adjust that to 18, so we're working the proper amount of days. Can't really do much. We're going to end up having to build it, and I'd prefer if we built it up here. Power was this. We were looking for this. That's 50. That would provide enough. But getting up there is going to be a problematic. Oh, we can get the steam stuff. Alright, that will generate 400. Alright, so this would be a nice power plant place to go. What does that need? That needs planks and logs, which is fairly simple to come across. But I'm going to have to build... We're going to have to build a, what is it? We will destroy that in a minute. Not obviously in a quick minute, but it will be in a minute nonetheless. No, we're gonna save as much wood as we can. Yes, we are going to save as much power or as much loggage as we can. We'll do something like that. That'll work out just fine. Move this over here. Have this follow this line. And get this going. And then storage. Logs that, and then planks that. How many logs do we got? We do not have a whole lot of logs. Alright, we have reached the max capacity of what those guys can do. So we need to come over here. Oh, food. Food is priority number uno. High priority that. And then where are my logs? Let's pause these guys. They can go get bent and move over to here. Hopefully we can start growing a little bit of that and figuring out what we need to do, because we need science, which then unlocks this guy, which then we can plant trees, and then we're in a better position as far as that is concerned. My whole goal on this one is to move a whole lot mother trucking faster than I did in the last episode, or the last series. And that is going to be to basically enact I want to say that's the right one, but that's to give us the biggest fighting chance that we can actually get as far as surviving all of this. Logs, want this to go up. There we go. So we have a place to put logs. That's great. We need to come up here and start kind of trying to do this. Obviously it's very expensive, but we need to get our planks taken care of as fast as possible to move out of this situation. And then now that we got all that growing, we can pause these guys, let this grow. That gives us one spare job. Let's focus on building and getting a population going. How far can these guys reach? Okay, they can reach as far as we need them to reach at this current point in time. Where are we at? Some of us can say this is a waste of time, but if we can get this up and get as much water as humanly possible, we will be in a very good spot. We're going to put those there. I want that kind of at a little bit of a higher priority. They're pretty much done with those, which, I mean, that's fine. We got this going. Oh crud, we do need that. Alright. Alright, we should have enough logs to do this, but I do want to make sure that we are being taken care of in this department and getting these built, because that's 20, that's 70 logs right there. So we got to make sure that we have enough that will at least take care of that. And obviously getting water taken care of is a big part of that problem. We have beavers. We're having our new life being grown, which is fabulous. We don't have any blueberries because we ate them all. And yeah, where are we on this? This is about to be going, so we are about to need extra jobs. Yeah, all right. Downgrade that one. minus that one. Alright, so we do have a little bit of food coming in. I caught that one, I feel like, in just the nick of time. So they're going to be hungry for a second, but we should have more than enough food to kind of get this taken care of. Hopefully. Alright, where are we at on this? My next priority is going to be to get this going. Yeah. We got 3 open jobs. I don't really know what those jobs are because we are focusing on getting that going. So as long as everything sticks to the schedule, we should be fine. We are going to be a little bit hungry, but like I said, I think we'll be okay. We just need to get this going so then we can kind of move some beavers over here, start working on some plankage, obviously unlock this. Hopefully that we still have somewhat of enough to get that going. And at this point we'll leave the blueberries where they're at and then come over here to trees. I want the pines and grow all that. How are we doing? Okay, we just need that built. We do have trees, so we're able to kind of work with what we got. We haven't experienced a bad tide yet, which is, in all honesty, thank goodness for that. Alright, so we're going to cut you down to 1. I'm going to kind of make you more of a priority. We can do 3. Do we have the logs? We do have the logs for it, so we should be fine. Yes, we should be fine there. The next thing I kind of want focused on is this, getting that built. There we go, that's looking fantastic. Get that going because we do need that being built. We did lose a beaver, which is a little regrettable, but we do need this being built so that we can then... What are we doing? Okay, so we're working on logs, we're working on planks. I do want to get this going for the simple need of that. I don't think we have any. You're working on 1. Downgrade you. Hold on, I gotta make sure. Alright, upgrade you. You're important. We got the 3 of you in there. Doesn't really make much sense when... Alright, we just need 1 beaver in there. 1 beaver puts out 75. We only need 75. That works out fabulous. That's not what I want. Let's unpause a few of you guys. Pause you. And pause you. Food's starting to come in a little bit. The main thing of what we need to do is we need to get those going. We do have trees over here, so that's where the hope is coming in, that we're going to be able to kind of come over here, cut these remaining trees down, maybe get a little bit of extra water going. Science, as far as it is right now, we're pretty well solid on. I need the logs. That's what I need. That's 2 jobs. Pause you. I don't necessarily need 2 of you in here. It makes it faster, whatever. We can actually, once I have the logs for this, which it looks like we do, then we should be able to pause both of these. Yeah, that'll work out. And then we got our first drought approaching, which we shouldn't have to worry about too terribly much because of everything we got going for us. Let's bump this guy up to the district center just so that we have an extra beaver building. I'm hoping against hope that we don't have to worry about anything as of right now. But the goal is to get up here and kind of start. Alright, yeah, so if we get this powered, we will never have to worry about water. That should remain good. We're just going to need to get power to it, which is going to require 50 more logs and probably some. We're going to need stairs, and then we're going to need this. We don't have enough. Alright, so we're going to work on getting up there to that level again, but we're also going to need... Alright, you got... That's great. Trees, blueberries... Let's blueberry this whole thing up. I do not care. Having more blueberries, I would rather have blueberries on here than not have them, and obviously getting this kind of taken care of to some degree is important. During the drought, we can move people over here to start collecting more karabis. Because our food situation is kind of bleak and not necessarily what I'd want that to be. Oh, wait. Destroy you. Might as well use the duplication button. And there we go. Oh, missed the last little bit there. Alright, I am going to work on building houses, but right now it seems more precedent to kind of build up this area. And what might also help and be somewhat of a waste is getting this also up and going. Because if we're able to get that going, then life is going to be a lot better off for us. Thank you. And then, yeah, so if we get this going, which is, we have 2 more planks. Oh, we already planked it out. Alright, so we just need the logs. Then we can start planting these trees, getting that kind of set up. 396 things of water. That should work out just fine for us. We'll put those 2 back into the workforce, which I don't know where they went, but, you know, whatever. Get them going somewhere. Two there. Those are all paused. And I think these are the 2 jobs that we're kind of waiting on to fill. We have children, so we are on the up and up on that part. Let's... I need 10 logs. Why? Oh, we don't have any trees. Alright, let's play you. Pause. play. Alright, all three of you are paused over there, so that's fine. So we have these guys going. We should be able to get enough loggage to build this up. Because we have 4, so that's 6. These couple of last trees should do what we need to be done. Gathering food, which is excellent. We can also, since we have stairs, we don't have planks though. We're just going to figure this out as we go. Give me the right button. Put all those down. Alright, we need two more planks and 2 more logs. Doesn't look like we're going to be able to get any of that. So pause you guys. I wish we could get up there, that would have been nice, but we're going to have to wait for some loggage to come in to kind of fix that scenario for us. And then I'm just going to keep these 2 going just so that we have those. Oh, where's my tree cutter part? Alright, you're already there. Sweet. Let's play one of you. So you can get that tree. I'm also going to play you. Oh, we ran out of jobs. Let's pause, unpause, and go down to 1. We're not really building anything other than those at this current point in time. But I'm trying to get this whole thing set up so that way at least we have something going. We have 4 jobs that need to be brought to our attention. We do have a bunch of blueberries coming in, which is fabulous. I feel like it is in our best interest to do this, even though that might be a waste, but starting to collection would be important. Yeah, getting these filled up is priority number 1. Because I don't know how this is going to work once a bad tide comes in. I don't know how that works. So the objective is right now to get up to this level. And like I said, we're at 100, so we can do this. And like I said, it's going to look kind of ugly, but beginning game, it doesn't have to look pretty, it just needs to be functional. Do something like this, get rid of that. Where is it? Get this going. Start cutting all that junk down, and then my idea is to put a circuit well, whatever, right here. Get that flowing. Figured out all that fun jazz. Once this guy, oh, we can't plant these 4. All right, so these 4 rows, we'll keep this guy coming back, and he'll be fine doing that. Logs, we should be getting pretty dang close to starting to need to harvest that. Oh man. Okay, so I feel like we're doing a lot better this go around. Obviously, we don't have a whole lot of struggles at this current point in time, minus just having one of those bad tide, whatever. This is going to be kind of a bigger project, one, because we're going to need this eventually to kind of help us sustain life. So this is going to be kind of a huge priority to get going in that sense, just to make sure that we're able to kind of still function. And that's also one of the other reasons of why it's going to be kind of an important thing. I want to pause you and pause you. You guys can go find other jobs. To get this guy going. Obviously, it's going to take a minute for some of these blueberries to get going, but hopefully it doesn't take too terribly long for those to kind of work in. I just need a couple of trees, turn those into planks. Was it 1 log, 1 plank? That kind of sucks as a ratio, but we'll make do with what we got. I think that covers about everything. Yeah. 56, 76, 76. Alright, hopefully when these trees start coming in, we'll be in a little bit better position. We, I think, just barely made it out with everything. I mean, there's probably a few of these buildings I didn't need to build, like a second farmer's hut, but it seemed important to at least start collecting these karabis to make sure we had a place to somewhat put them in that intention. While we're waiting on it, we might as well. I'll do that and then play you, get you going so you can plant some of these. Obviously, because if I click on it, that's 8 logs. 30 days, obviously a huge time period, but the sooner we get them planted, the sooner we get to use them kind of mentality. We can pause you. I will let you know when we can play you. At this point, we just need logs. That is, we have a huge forest over here we're working on, and hopefully, like I said, once these start to kind of pop off, we're very close to being able to collect logs again. We need 15, so that's about 5 trees, 6 trees, 7, 8 trees. 8 times 2, 16, yeah. So we need 8 trees to grow up just to build this. And then we probably need another 6 for that. Yeah, we're kind of cutting it close to the chest, but if we can get this built, we'll be in a good spot. And just because we'll have that built, we have access to trees at that current point in time. I want to say that these are oak, so that's 8 trees right there. That is a huge resource for us to go ahead and start using in our folds. They'll be the most important ones that we go after as far as anything else is concerned. Start getting that built. The next thing that we're going to focus on once we get up here and start kind of taking care of this area just a little bit is we are going to then focus on housing. It will be kind of important to get housing going. What do we got? Bad water, 3 days. All right, so yeah, this is going to be important to finish. Because these trees, some of them, yes, are going to die. I don't know exactly how many, but getting this built is going to be priority number uno because we're going to need blueberries to survive. That's pretty much full with 200 food. The next thing I want to do is play you. We can have one and play. We can have one in there. Just so that we can get up here, get these logs going. We can work on building this up during that bad tide. Get that kind of situated. Drop that down to 1. I don't think we have anybody in there. Play you. Start get. Ooh, I need to. That's not what I wanted. Play you. Pause you. Start planting some of these trees back. That'd be the most important thing that we're kind of taking care of at this current point in time. How are we doing over here? All right, we got that built. All right, at this current point in time, we can pause both of you and start taking care of that, which is what we did, which is fantastic. I enjoy that, and that makes me very, very happy. Power. Because I think for this, we need a lot of logs, a lot of planks too. But that is also doable. Do we have any steam vents up here? Of course not. But coming up here is going to be, yeah, that's going to be the saving grace of us during that time period, is getting all of that. But we should have enough water with everything that we got going on. Didn't we have a bad tide coming? Sorry, I want as much water as humanly possible. I hate running out of water. Yeah, running out of water just doesn't do it for me. Storage. Let's get another storage going. Oh, man. Sorry, I get confused sometimes, and plus I'm playing the other update, so it doesn't always come through the way that it needs to. Let's upgrade that one just a little bit so that we can get these things going. Max upgrading there. Want to get as much food as possible. Make sure we're as prepared as we can possibly be during this time. And this would be a great place up here to kind of build and fortify our stuff. As far as housing is concerned, yeah, I know it's out of the way and it's not necessarily in the most ideal and iconic spot, but it serves its purpose. That's full. I just need you to come in there and actually build something, do something with that. I think right now you're more worried on this, which is fine. It is what it is. Great, now that's full. We're working on that, which is fantastic. That is not full. That's a lot of blueberries, and also we're having a lot of them that are just now starting to get to the point of like actually being viable. Like this one hasn't even grown up yet. So that's kind of also problematic in that aspect. Alright, so we did end up getting the enough for science, power, a steamer. Yeah, let's get that built. Alright, I think that covers just about everything that we need covered. How are we doing on that? Okay, we're almost maxed out, which is pretty good because we're going to need most of it over here. But then I'll end up moving this over here. And then just having this thing be a straight line. And then we're also going to think about making that once we get up here, just so that one, this will be filled with water. We won't have to worry about that as much, and then we can then start kind of making this area into a secondary farmland in case this goes bad. I think that will be the most simplest thing that we do. We can focus on this area kind of being somewhat industrial, along with this area up here. We just have to get up there. It's not necessarily a primary need at this current point in time, just because of we have this and this one. We don't need this at this current point in time, especially with all of this. We just need to set some of these beavers free, I guess would be the best statement there. And yeah, so all this is built. We're working on this. Once we get this going, we just need planks, which we have most of them. I think we have everything to build this, in all honesty. And then with this, we should finish up the last of the logs. And then we'll be able to cut this down, add power here. Like I said, I'm going to make power. I'm going to put like the power wheel like somewhere right here, and then have stuff come off into here. What would probably have been smart. I don't know if we could have done it. We could have done it with the circular stairs, but not these stairs, but having them be able to come off into this area. That would have helped. Instead of having to like build double levels or whatever. Yeah, we'll figure it out in a minute. That's not full, that is full. Alright, so we're working on it, we're getting it going. I think right now it isn't important to have all 3 lumbers, but it is important to have 2 builders. Let's go to power. Let's go to this wheel thing. There we go. We'll do something like this. And power like that. Alright, drought is approaching, or drought has started, my bad. Pause, pause. Alright, everything's looking like we are doing a great job. We're being able to build a few things. We're clearing some stuff out so that we can actually grow up here, just in case we need to. How's the rest of this map looking? Alright, nothing else has started, but I think... Wait. That would help out a lot. Curious on how this plays out, because that last map that we had, that one was definitely whooping every part of our butt, and this one seems very lackadaisical, if I'm being perfectly honest. And that's kind of a little off-putting, if I'm being honest, because this is simple. And I don't want to, you know, put the cart before the horse, but there's not a whole lot to this one. Alright, so we got everything being built. We have trees being collected. We have power being used. We have that. We haven't started on this yet. We should, because that'd free up this beaver. Alright, we've started to make deposits. Blueberries half full on. We are growing steadily. I want another beaver in here, because we're gonna have to put, this needs 200, and so we're about to have to put like at least 3 if not 4 beavers in this. How much horsepower does this actually put out? Power, this wheel 300. Alright, so we might be able to get away with 3, if I'm being honest. Alright, sweet. We're gonna do this, get rid of all of that. And then, where is it at? Put that at a high priority. How many logs does that need? 20. Alright, actually we are going to... Nope. Duplicate. And then I'm going to put it just like that. I'm okay with adding... Oh... High priority that. And why I'm saying high priority this is because then we can delete this, delete both of these. Because this guy, it should be producing enough, 400. That's more than enough to then destroy this one and destroy this one. There we go. So we got a beaver back. We got 2 beavers back at the very minimum. Alright, let's pause both of, or unpause both of you. You need to be at a higher priority. And look at that go. All right, with 2 beavers, yeah, we're needing a third. Third beaver is going to be needed. Yeah. All right, sweet. So we got this growing, which is what we needed. We needed a little bit of that to kind of help with our situation. We got 4 open jobs. I'm okay with that. We can get rid of you. Yeah. We need... I don't think I need you. We can pause that guy to get him into the workforce somewhere. We're gathering enough wood. I might need to do another water pump, which just sounds like a good idea. Actually, we'll do another 2. Yeah. So they'll get this built, which will allow water to kind of build up and in here. How are we doing on food? Food's doing fantastic. We're still not really growing a whole lot. But I need that, and then we're going to need... All right, so we can get rid of that. I profile those. Let's go to wood, unlock this, which we have enough science points for. Rotate, and there we go. And then storage. Planks. Oh, that's not what I wanted. Yep, get rid of that. We need... Yeah, we need that one. Yep, there we go. Gears. And then we can start pumping out gears, which then we can start getting rid of some of these and building the bigger tanks. Hey, we have enough to do that. And then now that this... We actually have 4 beavers doing this. Alright, cool. Housing. 10, so we need 3 of these. Yao Chu Mama. That was accurate. I'm pretty sure that's 160 logs right there. That's pretty much the full amount of logs that we have. Then I want to come up here to a farmer. Yeah. And we can get rid of you. Eventually we're going to turn that into an engine, but I got to get the gears going so that then we can actually do some good. Then we'll place that there. And then how much metal? We need 250, so we'll work on that. But this is holding water, which is what we needed. Oh, man. Alright, we're 200 deep on that one. I think for self-preservation, it would be in our best interest to also make that blueberries, just so we can start storing that up. This one takes the planks, makes it into the gears. We kind of got that. Obviously, this one does that. What's this output looking like? So we could probably add another plank. We gotta figure it out. Alright, we'll work it through. I don't know what else we're building right now other than that. I think it'd be in our best interest. Is this full? Not full. Alright, when that gets full, then we'll build another one, because I don't want them stopping because they weren't able to collect, if that makes sense. Alright. Alright, and I think we will leave it right here. This is a great start to like our beginning journey. We got trees, we got food. I'm working on the food up here. We kind of got some blockage going. We have this water pumping so that we're able to actually have water. It might even be in our interest to kind of build into this, like with the planks, and then yeah, because if we can have this year round have water, then this we can get rid of all this. But then we're also building houses to start making beavers feel a little bit more at home. So we got a few projects on the uprise. We're slowly collecting and making a difference in this game. I think, like I said, I'm trying to move fast. I feel like for our beginning, this is pretty good. I think we're in a really good spot. We just have to watch our food and watch the amount of beavers we got going. But like I said, if we can get up here, make that into something, and then I mean, I'm totally down with putting a couple of food processor things over here, having some, what are they called, cassavas over here. I think that'd be very nice. And then once we're able to unlock the metal, go full ham on that, get this taken care of, we can then start searching other areas, getting that taken care of, and then if we can get the engines going, that'll take care of this. We have the wood to do it. We can start adding engines over here, and life will be a little bit better for us. So like I said, if you liked it, leave a thumbs up, think about a comment. I will be going back to the pressure map. I just kind of want to get my hands wet and kind of a successful playthrough with the new experimental mode. So we will be revisiting the other map. But until then, I will catch you guys later. Have a good one.